I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd.
Good evening, fellow pipe smokers. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Matthew here from Picking and Piping.
Like the whole Irish nation.
This is Patrick. This is Patrick.
Mike from Briar Blues here.
Welcome to the dark side.
Cincinnati, it is time for this town to get down.
I forgot to mic up. Woo! You're gonna see me get dressed. You're gonna see me get dressed. I don't know how I forgot this part. It's like the easiest part of the whole game. Yeah! Yeah! We're gonna hit a Habano tonight. This is a nub. Hit me quick. Hit me quick. That's what he said.
How dare you?
Shut up. Hit me quick. Yeah, baby. You know what's funny is I ran a test. I ran a test before I ran the live. Everything worked fine. Then I run a separate test, or then I run the live stream, and all of a sudden it shits the bed. That's okay. We're gonna figure it out. We are gonna figure it out one way or the other. We're gonna make it run as smooth as possible. Technical difficulties. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We are lit. I mean, Patrick, it's a non-professional unit that's doing professional work. So I mean, I'm not gonna overly complain about it because I feel like it's probably doing the absolute best it can. And overall I'm good with that. You know, it does what it can. WK Piper in Cincinnati. Welcome aboard. I'm also going to be running the chat bot in the beginning, so you're probably going to hear your sound files in the very beginning because I'm really trying to run whatever piece is drawing, you know, some type of internet, so that way I can fully see what the heck this sucker's doing. So, Ganjawana, good to see you. I see the all-seeing eye. Todd, good to see you. Matthew, good to see you. Graham, good to see you. Get that workout, Graham. Patrick, good to see you. Ohio Sweet Muffins. Mike from Briar Blues, good to see you. Glum Chum, welcome aboard. Chad, don't know why you retracted, but that's okay. Just saying hi, probably won't stay long. Understood. I know you were feeling ill. I saw your deep thoughts. Your super deep thoughts, so understood. Pipes of Old. Welcome aboard. Troy, good to see you. I said I would never, miss your show, Mr. Martin. I would never miss it. Oh no, the new phones. What kind of phone did you get, Troy? What kind of phone did you get? What was it? Sweet Muffins, just hang out. The points accrue quickly. And then, by the way, y'all can do all your gambling, see who can be the Maverick of the Week next week. I don't know. It's a wife pick. Okay. We'll go with a wife pick. I'm fine with a wife pick. Because then it ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I'm the Eggman. Go, go, get you.
I mean, it's better than nothing. It's always better than nothing. How is everybody? I'm in a good mood today. While we got people collecting in before the Zoom, we're gonna hit some of the on today. Hey there, Taylor Swift. The word today is October 27th, by the way, and the word of the day And again, I don't know if we got a good sentence yet, Tuesday. So I have to scratch that one. So today's a great word of the day. Use it in a sentence, and the best one will absolutely get 110s. The word of the day is a noun. Compilation. 1. An act of addressing a person by a certain name or title. 2. A name or title by which someone is addressed or identified, an appellation, a designation. Or 3. An act of addressing or speaking to someone, also the address or speech so made. There you go. So whatever word you can think of with compilation that adheres to the definition.
My good friend Phil Rivera, pipe maker extraordinaire.
Which I always think of a compilation like a, I don't know, like a pipe show compilation, something like that. I saw Phil like scanning the table, and all of a sudden it ends on like John. John's like, and then the video cuts. I don't know what happened, but that's hilarious. By the way, everybody that attends the Zoom, when you attend, everybody is more than welcome, and I highly suggest you get on there and do it. Please adhere to the proper etiquette, which is mute yourself unless you are speaking. Just so you know. Some observances of the day. I mean, I can't type either. That's why Zooming and live streams work for me. By the way, you know, it's like it always is. Or did I just... Oh. And in this corner... Okay. I'd hit the wrong button. So...
It's Miller time.
Yep. I can neither confirm nor deny anything ever. All right. For all of you, again, we'll hit it one more time. It is Miller time. It is American Beer Day. Just so everybody knows. For all you out there that are anti-briefs, it is Boxer Day. For any of those that have that special coworker in your life that always likes to, you know, you gotta go case with the Mondays. Or not even that. If you're the person that tells that coworker that, then it's Cranky Coworkers Day. Just so you know. Just so. In the UK, they've got 2 days, which is National Black Cat Day and National Mentoring Day. Interesting. Let's see, we also have... For all you spuds out there, it is National Potato Day. You know, it doesn't say anything about boxer briefs, Patrick. Just says Boxer Shorts Day. All of you out there, all you good Navy men, congratulations, it's National Navy Day. It's Occupational Therapy Day as well. And Sylvia Plath Day. And I don't know who that is. I know the name and I can't recall whatever that is. Also, it's World Day for Audiovisual Heritage, which I'm always a fan of. Whale tail? That's a fascinating... I've never heard of whale tail. Anchors Away. I have no idea what day is National Commando Day. I am not aware if there is such a day. Let's see. International Magic Week. The boy is going to take his Harry Potter book to school tomorrow. National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. That's good. National Massage Therapy Awareness Week. That's also good. National Red Ribbon Week. There we go. National Respiratory Care Week. All good. Pastoral Care Week. Care for your pastors. All good there. The quote of the day is, no working during drinking hours. Cheers. Cheers indeed. Since it is American Bear Day. Indeed. We don't have a lot of history for today. Let's see. Lee Greenwood, American singer-songwriter known for God Bless the USA, was born in 1942. I love that the recipe today is Emergency Food Supply Day. So get your emergency food supplies. Do some canning. What is everybody in the chat? What is your favorite canned food? And I don't mean like can off the store. I mean like preserved, canned, you know, like some good old like you know, stocking up some prepping shelf canned food. Passata? Canned passata? Like, do you can it that way? I'm not really sure what you do. I'm not really even sure I understand. I don't know. Strawberries and beets. Oh, I like some good canned beets. You gotta be like, you know, not it like canned beets is a tough one. Oh, got you. Just pasta sauce, tomato sauce. Got it. Understood. I don't think I guess strawberries as in like preserves. Preserves. I mean, I don't know how you go wrong there. Smoking Kentucky Piper, good to see you. Vienna sausages. Okay. I like some Vienna sausages there, Daniel. Anything else anybody likes canned? I like, or pickled, canned, pickled, jarred, whatever the hell you want to call it. Oh, other than tobacco. Could probably just go tobacco. That'd be fine with me too. Kippers. Where's the kipper? It's for the kipper. Fruit cocktail. Oh, okay. All right. Yep. Oh, peanut butter. Charlie, you're a man after my own heart. All right, we're going to get into that in a second. Charlie, I need to know, though. I need to know, and anybody else, after you've named your favorite canned, jarred, preserved, whatever food, are you a creamy peanut butter or a chunky, crunchy peanut butter? I just out of pure curiosity. Beef stew. I've never had I mean, I've had canned beef stew, but I mean like, you know, preserved beef stew. You know, Mike likes both. You know. Chunky. I want some mouthfeel in that. Yeah. Patch says pickled beets, brain dolls. I'm guessing the taking the pits out. Homemade strawberry preserves. Yep. Smoked oysters, Ganj. Look at you, fancy pants. I will. Homemade veggie soup, Don Graham. I'm good with you there too. Alpo. I don't even know what Alpo is. I would say my favorite anything pickled or canned or jarred is pickled okra. Pickled okra, and then the second would be some Cliff Higgins pickled eggs. Now I'm a little odd with my peanut butter. I go through phases. I go through a creamy phase, and I go through a crunchy phase. Just back and forth. Smoked clams, smoked scallops. Obviously, Phil enjoys those tremendously. Yeah, Kentucky, I do like the texture of some crunchy peanut butter, but to me, it depends on what I'm doing. Like, if I'm just eating if I'm just eating some peanut butter, good Lord. Jers, Cliff Higgins gave me the YouTube. It's a Kansas City pickled egg. I mean, it's so easy. It's just a big thing of white vinegar. Obviously the eggs, shelled them and stick them in there. And then it's just a big thing. I forget the measurements, but a big thing of crushed red peppers, thing of garlic, some sugar and some salt, and you're all set. It's stellar. It is. I got some. I would eat them right now. In fact, I finished the jar that he gave me, and I had to make a new jar. They're so good. But I love, my mom makes some amazing pickled beets. They're so good. Take them all day long. George, I can attest to it, sir. I can absolutely attest to how good those freaking things are. They are amazing. No, Donald Graham, you got to save it for Friday. You already snuck one in on me this week. I got you now. I got your number. Never tried smoked scallops. I've never tried smoked scallops. I don't know what they would be like. Aren't scallops, like scallops and shrimp, things like that, if you're going to cook them in the pan, aren't you supposed to like dry them, like press them and like kind of dry them out first? Because otherwise it gets like really like goopy in the pan. Like you got to cook it real fast, so otherwise they start leaching out and everything. I don't think I have excelled at my cooking. We are trying at some point to get to these freaking ammo head dishes because we want to do them for Mike. Let's see. Pickled pig's feet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I recall being a fan of them, but then I watched a video and like I'm not sure I could eat them again. Clams are good. I love canned oysters, so like I like oyster stew. That's a good one. Yeah, so they need to be dry. Do you like press them or like do you let them? I don't know the full process in it. I need to figure that out. Who else likes crunchy or creamy peanut butter? And the next question I have, I probably should ask these in Zooms, but I'm just very, very curious for the rest of it. Pickled herring in cream sauce. Okay, my father-in-law over in Germany is a huge pickled herring fan. Scallops in a searing hot sun, hot cast iron. Caramelize them. Yep. Hey, Charlie, I mean, when I lived in Florida, I mean, we'd head over up there to the, whatever they are, inlets, outlets, whatever they are. We'll up there, north of Clearwater. And we would, just have a little boat in our scallop basket. And man, I tell you, you could you pop one open right then and there, clean it out, cut the scallop out, wash it. So just right there in the salt water. Eat that sucker. Good Lord mercy, how just sweet and briny at the same time. So good. Sardines. I'm a big fan of sardines in either mustard or most preferably some type of Louisiana hot sauce. That would be my preference. Yeah, Ganj. I like to me it just depends. Crunchy peanut butter, I just want crunchy peanut butter. If I'm making a sandwich, it's hit or miss. If I got good bread, probably crunchy. If I got crappy bread, it's gonna be creamy. Yep, Jers, I'm good with you there too. Yes, sir. Todd, I'm there with you too. I like creamy peanut butter. Phil, I'm down. Not like Kentucky in a coastal state. I hear you, smoke Kentucky Piper. Yeah, I am a fan of it. Now, here's one thing. Peanut butter. What's the weirdest way you eat peanut butter? Okay. I'm just curious, what's the weirdest way you eat peanut butter? I have a couple weird ways that I eat peanut butter. They're funky. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Ganj, I think the bread especially is very, very important. Very, very important. On bananas, okay. Like just plain bananas, like Banana Fosters. I mean, I can tell you right now, if it was Banana Fosters and peanut butter, God, I would go freaking insane. That would be delicious. Woo! Peanut butter and hot sauce. Okay, all right. Oh, with syrup. So maple syrup, Troy. Okay. Basically fill everything in peanut butter sauce. Plain banana and PB. I can see that. Ooh, Thai chili sauce. Look at y'all. Good Lord. I asked the wrong damn question because now I'm getting freaking hungry. Ooh, peanut butter on mint chocolate ice cream. Okay. 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 Stepfather are sardines on crackers with creamy peanut butter. I can eat sardines on crackers all day. Not sure about the peanut butter. Peanut butter and potato chip sandwich. Okay. Ooh, peanut butter on a grilled cheese. Yes. PB and honey. Yes, I can see that. There was a movie, and if you can guess it, I'll be thoroughly amazed. There was a movie where the boy loved peanut butter and onion sandwiches, which, by the way, I have tried. Feel like that one might be a little funky. Got a Chinook flying overhead. Nice. You know what? Like, I'll say sandwich wise, you know, if you want to know my favorite sandwich of all time, it is a toasted, lightly mayoed lettuce sandwich with fresh iceberg lettuce leaves. Big Country, we are talking about what kind of peanut butter you like and if you've eaten it any weird ways. You like creamy or crunchy? Everett, you too. Creamy or crunchy? How do you like to eat it? Muffins, did you tell us which one you like? Because I'm definitely fascinated how people take their peanut butter. Oh, Turkey Bacon Club. Yeah, that's a good one. But see, if I get a club, it's got to be, you got to segment it into triangles. I got to turn into a kid again. It's got to be a good toast. You know, lightly toasted, not overly. Both? Glum Chum? Yep, I'm good with that. Yep, Country, I'm not overly picky. Little Monsters! Oh, Kentucky, you had to Google the dang thing. Yep, that's right, with Fred Savage. That's who was in it, Fred Savage. Oh yeah, add some bacon. I've definitely done the bacon, but I mean, I grew up poor, so like we made like my wife will tell you, I can make a sandwich out of almost anything. We made fried potato sandwiches, a little layer of mayo, tomato sandwiches with some fresh cracked pepper, salt, mayo, on regular bread or toast. Ooh, peanut butter and crackers. The boy loves. We go buy those Lance crackers. He'll tear those up. A French dip, Reuben on rye. Yes, Reuben by far. If I'm splurging and I'm really wanting to hit that real sandwich, if I want to go, so like, you know, if I want to go to comfort food, it's a lettuce, light mayo, toasted sandwich. Stacked bread. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the German way of doing it, Cincy. Lives down the street from Smucker's. Holy mackerel. Oh, I could only imagine. Mayo, peanut butter, and banana sandwich fried up. Look at you, Glumch. Look at you getting a little crazy. Look at you. Look at you getting a little crazy over there.
Oh, my.
Yes, sir. Great. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to the gel at horseradish. Really interesting. I've not thought about that. Jewish Daily corned beef sandwich. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the big stack, Patrick. Oh my goodness. My Lord. I will say that I have had the Elvis burger and I am a massive fan. I think that's a fact. I am a massive fan. Now, one of the things that I will do with peanut butter that might seem a little off is I will mix in my peanut butter because sometimes I just want it rich. Sometimes I just want it to just punch me. Sometimes I just want to just knock the shit out of me. And I'll take peanut butter and I'll put a bit of cream cheese in it. Mix a little cream cheese in that sucker. Oh. After that, I'll cut up some berries, toss it on top, And then if I'm feeling saucy, feeling pretty saucy, I will drizzle just a little bit of maple syrup on that sucker. I'm gonna tell you, peanut butter with a little bit of cream cheese in it, sinful. You can take that to the bank. You can take that all the way to the bank. Oh yeah, Ritz crackers or club crackers. I love me some club crackers there, Todd. Yes. I mean, I am not a cheese person. Okay, my wife is a cheese person. She likes all that crazy stuff. She likes everything. I will, however, eat cream cheese and all kinds of stuff. Something about cream cheese, just easy. That between cream cheese and Velveeta, those are my two. If it's a cheese type thing, it's cream cheese or it's Velveeta. It's one of the two. A bucket list sandwich, baby. I will say, I don't think anybody, if you like peanut butter, I don't think if you got an Elvis burger, you'd be disappointed. But I mean, it's gotta be legit. I mean, it's like an ice cream scoop full of peanut butter on that sucker. I mean, it is a monster. Oh gosh. Yeah. Which again, if you think about especially Asian dishes like what Mike and Phil are talking about, like peanut sauce and stuff like that, which I love. It doesn't make an Elvis burger sound nearly as bad as what some people seem to make it out like. Pumpkin spice English muffins with peanut butter and honey. Yep, Velveeta technically ain't cheese. It's vegetable. Oh, no joke. You ain't wrong there. Still eating it. And it does say cheese on the box. I'm still eating it, Phil. Stuff makes some great queso. Marshmallow cream. Yes. Now, all right, internet. Don't do it, internet. Okay. Don't do it, internet. I see you freaking son of a bitch. The internet's getting a little spotty. Not sure why, but gonna keep an eye on it. Good Lord. I do not cheese whiz. I'm not a cheese whizzer. Probably not the...
Now, why don't you make like a tree?
Now, why don't you make like a cheese? Get out of here. Yeah, not the biggest fan of the cheese whiz, but 100% okay with it. Ooh, in vanilla ice cream. Now, what is your favorite kind of jam or jelly? Oh, there you go. Get it. That's called a Monte Cristo dog there. By the way, Everett, which by the way, well, you don't eat hot dogs, but by the way, like a jelly hot dog, whew, and some peanut butter, I'll take it. I'll eat that. In fact, I don't know if I really give a damn what's in there. As long as it's good. There was a bleep button, honey. There was a bleep button. Will you grab me another short stick out of the thing? We're not going to go long tonight, but. Everett, would you eat a bratwurst? It's basically a German hot dog. You know, it's sort of a German hot dog. A Gorgonzola fan. So what do you eat with your peanut butter? Yeah, it'll look like a nub. It'll be a nub. That's fine. But like, there we go. Funny. The wife is just giving it to the dog right now. But that sounded awful. But she was kicking. She wasn't kicking it. She was nudging the dog. She was nudging. She was loving the dog with the flat side of her foot. Mike, I'm good with that. Yep. Oh, toast and peanut butter. Oh yeah, get it. Start getting it to thin out a little bit. Or add peanut butter oatmeal. That's a great idea. I'm a big fan of grape jelly as well, Matthew. That's a classic. Elderberry jelly. Didn't you say something about elderberries one time? Oh yes, for immune. That's why that's why Smoking Kentucky Piper's got that good immunity. Peanut butter in the fridge. Yeah, I do that. Well, I use I eat a natural peanut butter that you have to mix up anyway, so you got to toss it in the fridge anyways. Otherwise, the oil just separates. Marmalade is good stuff. Spanish ham, nice, with manchego cheese. Okay. Kick the can. Love Spanish ham. Yeah. Speaking of cream cheese, if you want something that's just real easy, just super easy. It's just marmalade, isn't it? That Steve and them would do. Yeah, it was like a orangish. It's marmalade, I think. Yeah, it's like an apricot marmalade or something like that. Like you just take that, put it on top of a block of cream cheese, and then just Ritz cracker that sucker, and it's good Lord, greatest thing since sliced bread. Strawberry jam or peach preserves. Okay. My mom makes a peach jelly. And your dad loves it. Or I'm sorry, not peach jelly. I'm wrong. Are you wanting to talk? Okay. My mom makes peach butter. Yeah, Charlie knows what's up with that. Grape jelly with PB&J sandwiches, blueberry jam for You know, here's another thing. All right, let's get on to my pet peeves with PB&Js, all right? Huh? What?
PB&Js are yuck.
All right, you're cut off. You're cut off.
How dare you?
So my biggest pet peeve with PB&Js is when somebody doesn't eat the crust.
My biggest pet peeve is that they should have just put Nutella on the bread.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute you for the rest of the show. I'm cutting you off. Like you don't even deserve to be here at that point. Fig preserves. There we go. I tried to get I forgot to give the kids the fig. I don't know if the figs went bad or not. Yep, big cans of government peanut butter. It's the best peanut butter. It's the one you got to mix. I don't think I've ever had almond butter.
No, you got to get Nutella that's made in Europe. The Nutella here is way too sweet. The Nutella there is not so sweet.
Nutella's garbage.
Whatever.
Peanut butter, Nutella, and apricot marmalade together. That's a busy one. Patrick's called the bowl call, by the way. I just make plain peanut butter sandwiches. I don't eat jam or jelly. Hey, Everett, there ain't nothing wrong with that, sir. But I tell you, it gets a little good. And so does anybody peel the bread on the PB&J? The second thing is what do you drink with eating a PB&J? I have to have milk. If I don't have milk with basically anything peanut butter, I feel like I'm missing an arm or a leg. I mean, like I am not complete. I can see coffee. I think the greatest thing that ever happened to milk wasn't chocolate, but it was peanut butter. It's gotta be. I mean, it's as essential as Oreos and milk, I would say, is peanut butter and milk. Has to be. Patrick's got some Haunted Bookshop and a Walker Briar and a nail blasted pot. Troy's got some coffee, Savanella Mega Pot, some HH Dark Fire. Everett's got him some Haunted Bookshop and a Savanelli 673 Roma KS. Liking it. What else is everybody smoking and drinking?
Stop it, dog. You're going to knock the camera out.
You're on the mic.
Sorry, but the dog is knocking.
That's all right. Hey. All right, hold on one second. Okay, I want to make sure y'all didn't hear all that. Hey, lay down. Go. Okay. I'm just going to squat right there. HH Pure Virginia and a Rattray Poker. I like it. Watch City Cigar, Rhythm and Blues, and a Flamin' Jacobson Bent Bulldog. not a Jacobo. It's Jacobson, something like that. Oh, Glum Chum, I like that. Some Old Dominion, a K Woody with coffee. There we go. We were talking about K Woodies the other night. Absolutely. Some Copenhagen long cut wintergreen. Get her done. Don Graham smoking some barley, and a country gentleman drinking Irish whiskey and Irish cream with some root beer. There you go.
Lots of Irish.
Troy's like, I got some Skull. Skull it up. Skull it all the way. Mike, do you want to start it again? And allow me to steal your Zoom for the next 20 or 30 minutes? I mean, we could probably run mine, but still. Is it really long cut? I mean, it's relatively long. It's relatively long. I'm up for it, Mike. I had a couple of ones that I was questioning about. Crick's View, smoking Northwoods and a corn cob. Love me some cobbies. Sure. Mike, I can run mine because again, I'm probably not going to be on here much longer than 40 minutes, anyways. Because I got a work thing I got to do in the morning. That's not what Katrine said. That's all right. I muted her. Here, I'll unmute her.
What did I say?
Now I'll mute her again. I missed it.
I gotta get up early.
I can run mine, Mike. Because then that okay, you got it started. All right, hold on. Let me check the mail. Let me check the mail. I'm on standby. I am on standby. Mike's like, you already got me to do it. Now you got to sit there. Yep. No, I understand. He's not wrong. Ooh, that music. Wow. Who was that? Troy. Sly Dog. All right. I like that piano. I do. I like that piano in there. Advanced. Mike, I'm with you, sir. Good to see you.
No worries.
As
You
always.
too. You are now the host.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the assistance, as always.
No worries.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Busy. I can't believe it's already Friday again. I can't believe we're already mostly through October. I can't believe it's 2022. And I can't believe I took my son to his first 4-H meeting for BB, same as I did for my daughter, when she was around his age, and he was wearing a 2014 shooting competition shirt. And the original coaches were there, and they thought it was hilarious because they remember that Haley used to do it when she was little.
She said she'll come to the competition.
And then they felt old as dirt and blamed me for it. And I said, okay, I got you. I said, I get it. I understand. It's just how it goes. All right, let me
You
grab.
do your thing. I'm going to mute and turn off some lights and turn on some lights.
You do it, good sir.
It's a mood
You do
lighting.
it. Mike likes that good old moonlight. He's got the cool lights.
I know. I was wondering. I was like, it's so bright in the background.
Oh, no, he'll change that in a second. And then it's like, it'll look all cool
Wow.
looking. Yeah, see, there he goes.
That's awesome.
He screws with all the trick-or-treaters that way. That's his. I can see him do it.
Yes, projecting like that different face onto the like wall or onto the door when he.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I didn't start the snap camera because that could freak Martin out.
God Almighty, that one freaking clown face! Good. I'm so glad I'm on a diet because I almost had a movement. And it wasn't just going to be knocking the crap out of my mic and everything else as I was trying to duck out under the table. It was ridiculous.
All right, it's fun to do when Scripto's around because he hates clowns.
Yeah. See, I don't hate him. I'm all right with, but man, just that one. Like when I'm looking from one side to the other, oh man, it throws me off like you just can't imagine. It messed me up. Mm-hmm. I'll say that. It messed me up pretty good.
Part of my job.
You do it so well. Some would say too good. Some would say just a hair too good.
Yeah.
We got Everett. Everett's going to be joining in with us. Everett, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, gentlemen?
Mike, I'll let you answer first.
I'm doing fine, Everett. How are you?
I'm doing good. How was Vegas?
It was excellent.
I love the kid coming out of Mike when he says that.
I come on here and Mike hides. I must have scared him away.
No, I was just trying to get the snap camera to work. I was
no.
You didn't see the snap camera picture there a second ago when he was talking.
Oh God. Oh,
and I have to start it before I start the Zoom. So I'll get you next time, Mark.
Oh, thank God. All right.
Now he knows, though.
Blessed small favor sometimes.
Yeah, no, Vegas show was absolutely incredible, and unfortunately it went by way too fast.
But your bones don't say that.
My ribs are still hurting from laughing. And I got home Monday, and they're in here. It's still tender.
I saw Charlie smoking Captain Black Grape. I don't think that went over very well.
Did you see the size of the pipe he smoked it in?
Just a little one.
DDT, good to see you.
Charlie is no dummy.
When Willie tossed that over to him, he had a pipe in his hand and he looked at it and he started digging in his bag and he pulled out this little mini me cob.
Oh, poor Charlie.
Everett, we were just glad to see you showing up again. Everybody was wondering where you were at.
Where I was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just stopped making videos for a while. A lot of stuff that was brought to my attention about certain things, and I decided to just cool it for a bit making videos. I don't know if I'm going to make more or not. I probably will. I don't know yet.
Sure. Take your time. One day at a time, Ev. That's all you can do.
I'll be doing, everybody knows I'll be doing a live tomorrow night for Kane Rod because he's in Vermont.
Nice. I'll be there checking it in while we're doing pregame. Derek won't be here. Again, his son's got his last game. I don't know why 9-year-olds need a baseball game at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. That's just ridiculous. Sports have gotten out of hand.
Be thankful.
Maybe I'll make some videos next week. I'm going hunting.
Nice.
Martin, you should be thankful that Marty Jr. doesn't play hockey and you don't live here. When I was a kid, our practices were at 5 a.m.
Whew. Nope.
I would never make it.
Nope. He would be on the bench.
I can barely make it to school by 8
He
o'clock.
would be sitting the bench.
My brother has 2 sons in hockey in Alberta, and they're on the go constantly.
Did we lose Charlie?
We did. I think he's probably changing his Zoom handle. Don't worry, I've got the handles hidden behind my picture, so nobody sees names. Not like some of you guys even care, but just in case for those, it is hidden behind this thing. So there are no worries of anybody seeing or catching your name. So with that, yeah, I think he was changing it. There he is.
I'm back.
Yep. Now we got you.
Hi, Charlie.
Oh, wait. Why am I? There's something wrong with my Zoom. Everyone's showing up twice.
Oh. Oh, who else did that happen to? That happened to somebody else too. I forget who it was. Somebody had that same problem, Charlie. I mean,
so Charlie, tell me about the Captain Black grape.
Oh, there it goes.
I had a pipe this big, and the entire pipe show was filled with the smell of bubble gum from that pipe.
Wow. Wow.
Charlie, did you burn your clothes from that day after you got home?
I washed them, and I had to shower 3 times to get the smell out of my hair.
I was right next to Charlie. He had finished that, pretty much dumped it out. That's all you could smell. We got over to Jay Mouton's table, and Jay had his head down. Charlie tried to palm off that little mini cob onto Jay Mouton's table, and Jay Mouton looked up.
People know me.
I put the little pipe smelling like bubblegum right in the middle of all his tampers and started to walk away, and Jason looked up.
You know, Charlie, because we weren't going to necessarily rehash the Vegas trip again, but since you're on board, how was the trip? And you know, is everything these other guys have been telling us true?
I'm just going to echo what they said.
There it is.
That was one of the best weekends of my life, and it was all. Not only was the show great and a tremendous success, and the venue was great, but it was our group of people, our family that was there, just totally made it. So
glad to hear it, sir. Yeah. Glad to hear it. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else wanting to pop in, because I'm going to ask the fabled question. I am channeling my inner Harry Carey in this regard.
I have a question for Charlie.
Do it, Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Be honest, did you really like that Captain Black grape?
No. That was awful. It was scary. I mean, I'm telling you, have you ever opened a pack of baseball cards when you were a kid?
Yes.
And you get that note from the package, and
or like the Big League Chew.
Yeah, exactly. When you're 7 years old, you stuff that crap in a pipe and light it, and you have Captain Black grape.
That Big League Chew purple.
You know,
that's what it makes me think of.
I'm surprised the FDA isn't going after that. I mean, talk about marketing to kids.
Well, they don't make it anymore, do they?
No,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think Willie was like, they're just their sole purchaser with his multiple tubs of Captain Black grape.
He probably started smoking it when he was 7.
I had to. He had to.
Just struck a chord with Willie's inner child.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't doubt it at all. Like, I mean, like I said, it makes me think of Big League Chew. As soon as he sent me a sample of it. Derek smoked it. He liked it. I opened it up and I was like, I might eat this, and I can't. I'm not even gonna open this anymore because it's like Big League Chew.
When you said Derek liked it, I almost had a beer spewing moment.
Well, you know, he's new in his journey still there, Phil. So to him, it was just like a brand new experience. All of a sudden, all the endorphins kicked in when the sugar hit him.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I have a sample that apparently Willie, I found this out at the pipe deal. Willie sent it to Robert, E&A's dad. And Robert sent it to me. And I thought Robert drew the smiley face. Apparently, Willie drew the smiley face on it. And I still haven't opened it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But
I'm afraid Princess won't come into the room anymore.
Something smells foul, or really, really sweet. So I don't know what's. The other thing it made me.
I'd like to ask you a few
Good.
questions.
Somebody's asking a question. Charlie, was everyone the same in person as they are on the live streams? That's a good question.
Yes. Yes. And this was my second pipe show. But that is the beauty of these videos that we watch and the live streams and the chats, and all that, is that when you you see somebody for the first time in person, and there's about a half a second moment of processing who that person is, and then it's like a family member that you haven't seen in a couple of years that's come in for the holidays.
That's right.
Just a big hug, and you're right there.
We're all walking up to each other
Yeah.
saying, "I thought you were dead."
Good Lord. Wow. Jeez. Tough crowd.
The only difference about being in person, honestly, is that the humor, the sense of humor with this group is off the charts, and we were just laughing the whole weekend.
So you would
besides
say
drinking.
you would it be accurate to surmise that people are more reserved on YouTube than they are in person?
You know, I would put it this way. Everybody was so excited and happy to be at the pipe show that we were all in an elevated and rare mood.
Yeah.
And it came through in the engagement we had with each other.
It's almost like, whatever our personas are or whatever you think of us, it was like giving a 5-year-old 4 liters of Pepsi and some caffeine.
And Captain Black Grape.
Times 10.
The highlight of the weekend, I have to say for me, though, was at the awards dinner on Saturday night. Greg Pease sat with the group, a table of our family, our YouTubers, where Glenn, Drop Bear Woodworks, was sitting. And when Glenn looked at Greg and said, I hate a lot of here. And Glenn, I think Glenn had to process that. I think he might have said something like, well, you need to stop smoking or something like that.
or he misunderstood the components, or he was smoking it wrong, something. It was like watching a verbal tennis match from the net. You were just like this.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's like, you know what, Serena, I think your backswing is just a bit off. You shouldn't hate your backswing. I think you're just a little low. I mean, it's like telling the pro that they're just not pro enough.
It's more like a professional sporting event where a flagrant foul is called and the player keeps going because they don't hear it. That was Glenn.
But it was almost like watching, what's his name, back in the 70s. They had a playoff match between him and King. What was his name? He used to throw temper tantrums. It was like watching one of those matches.
Talking McEnroe?
Yeah, McEnroe. But it was civil, and it was all in good humor or whatever. But it was interesting to watch. I was like, wow.
Charlie, Big Country's got a question for you.
Yeah.
He says,
where's Todd's sister?
He said, wrong question. We'll get to that one next week. He says, Willie says that Captain Black Grape is the greatest retro hell ever. Did you retro hell?
I did. I retro held. And I don't know. Have you ever had wasabi? Oh. It's bubblegum wasabi.
Oh, wow.
Well, good thing, Charlie, is your accent. It sounds like retro hell, Hell.
It's retro hell.
Charlie, please, my ribs still hurt.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Everything else feels kind of normal, but my ribs still hurt.
I did. Phil's right. I did throw the pipe out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would too.
That's a Cobb night right there for me if I'm going to toss a pipe.
It was a Cobb.
So
but
good. Yeah, there you go.
Wasn't as bad as that rat race, erotic, whatever, exotic, whatever. That tin didn't matter how far you threw it. For 3 freaking days, it kept coming back.
The very next day.
Thank you, Scripto.
See, the guy that keeps on giving. All right, so here was the question that I had, and this is my Harry Carey. And it's like, if you were a pipe tobacco, what would be your contents? And I'm gonna open it up to whoever wants to say specifically, because this is one you got to kind of some people might have to think about, some people might not. But if you equated yourself to a pipe tobacco blend, what kind of blend would it be? What would the contents be? Just out of curiosity.
Canadian Virginia with an Oriental bent.
Oh, yeah, I can see every part of that. That was very good, Mike.
That's an odd question. I mean, like, who would have seen that coming? I was like,
I'd be some tangy Virginia with a good dose of Perique in there.
Oh, just a little hit of
I'd be
spice.
Oriental and nutty.
I would say Old Dark Fire, Vatican, and Perique.
Okay. Everett, what about you?
Burley, Virginia.
Burley.
Are you sure, Everett?
Burley.
Everett ain't going to no shows.
It's a dark fire in Kentucky.
Burley. I just love that. It was so profound when he said it.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go with my strong points.
I mean, hey, look, go big or go home. I think if I were to be a blend, I would probably be Captain Black Grape. No, I'm just kidding. God help me if I was Captain Black Grape. I would probably be pretty lonely. I would probably say I would be probably a Burley Virginia blend of some sort, of some concoction. And if there was anything else in there, it would probably be a little cigar leaf. That would be me. I'm surprised nobody said deer tongue. I was waiting for Everett to say deer tongue, but maybe
Deer tongue is a unique taste.
Deer tongue has its place in some tobaccos. Like Crooner is in my opinion, a good tobacco. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's not for everyone.
Kind of like Lakeland.
Deer tongue is like the kale of the world.
Oh,
you use it and you scrape it into the garbage before it goes in.
Yeah. So when somebody hands me a green smoothie, I can tell them that it's they can go to Retro Hale.
Or almost what I call, when you smell them, they're vanilla-esque, but when you smoke them, they're different.
I think Tamper's got a point here in the comments. Retro Hell would be a great YouTube
I think
handle.
it would be a wonderful
Someone's
YouTube
got to
handle.
grab that
Retro
one.
Hell.
I think that's an all-dayer right there.
You'd have subscribers up the wahoo just not knowing what the heck was going on.
Right, because everybody's thinking, wow, somebody, like, I'm about to hear some 80s stuff. I'm about to get some fun stuff, and this prick sitting here talking about
whatever. Yeah,
this guy's just sitting here blowing his nose every 5 seconds because he just keeps doing a run of retrohaling on all this tobacco he's got. I don't know what this is about, but no, I agree with Charlie. I think that's a stellar name.
That smokes Captain Black Grape, it should come with like a dye packet. If you smoke it, it stains you purple.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's like what, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Right.
Yeah.
But tobacco version.
Yeah.
So whoever gets stuck in the tube is going to have a rough day.
Turns into an Oompa Loompa.
God. Wow. Yikes.
Deer tongue can be okay, Troy, if you like rat poisoning.
I don't think I've ever had anything with deer tongue in it. I don't think I've ever had the desire to venture towards it. That or
the only one I spoke with deer tongue is Crooner. That's it.
Right. That or any like what is it called? Lakeland? Is it Lakeland? No. What is it called? The whatever that. Maybe it is Lakeland. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's just a whole nother realm of like, isn't it like a licorice flavor? Is that a star anise flavor or something like that? Like Lakeland blends.
An anisette flavor.
Ugh. Nope. Ain't doing it. I can't do any of that stuff. I also can't do any cherry tobacco. I can't do any cherry tobacco because they all taste like chloroseptic spray to me, which I also hated.
Have you tried Sam Gawith Celtic mixture?
Mm-mm.
I'm not a fan of cherry tobaccos at all, but that one, you actually taste the tobacco more than the cherry, and the cherry is pretty spot on.
That would be a first for me.
That's because it's not got cherries in it. It's got crushed up kelps.
What is that?
And that's the other thing, Mike, that throws me off. I was like, where on God's green earth do cherries grow? How is that related to Celtic? You know?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, like you guys got to hang out with Greg Peace. What was one of the big things y'all took from the conversations with him?
He doesn't give a shit.
All right, there's one. Wow, that I can completely translate into the tobacco community. Phil, thanks.
Martin, there'd be too many because I've known Greg since the mid-'90s.
You know, he's
down to earth.
It's obvious when you talk to him, he's deeply passionate about what he does.
Yep.
You know, but someone trying to get his goat or something like that, he couldn't give two shits less.
I mean, at some point, you just don't really care. I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
He told me he was smoking a pipe for 5 years before he figured out how to taste anything in it.
Yeah.
That's a humbling statement, Charlie.
I was surprised by that.
That is a humbling, that is a very profound statement.
I think a lot of us take some hope out of that.
Well, I think...
I mean, and that was at the banquet table. He said quite a few things that, you know, probably made a lot of us think. And one of them that I heard from and I agreed with is people smoke the tobacco too wet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that, and the flavor definitely. I mean, and it's just, I liken it to almost anything that you do for a really long time. You really get into the nuance of things that you've done for a very, very long time, and I think that's where the fun begins. When you can do that.
One other thing I picked up from him at that table was he also, well, like a blend he's working on now. I mean, the tobacco's aged; it's 10 years old, and so he keeps visiting, and he does this with a lot of tobaccos. He lights it, does the char light, whatever, gets it going. He sits it down, walks away for 10, 20 minutes, comes back, and I do that just out of, you know, because I'm busy, but I found that quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd be curious about the little methods of all those guys, whether it be pipe makers, blenders, whoever. Like some of those little nuances, I think, just add so much to the overall hobby. You know, I mean, there's books on it. There's all kinds of stuff on it. What were you saying, Mike?
I have asked Greg on more than 2 occasions to do a Zoom interview type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have much interest in doing them with tobacco as the topic. But his other passions, he would, which would be music, guitars, amps, watches, wine, food, that type of thing.
Photography, yeah.
Yeah, as far as tobacco, he wouldn't be interested in a Zoom with that being the topic.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression with this conversation with Glenn, and pretty much everyone that was, you know, and anyone that was talking to him, he's just totally talked out on tobacco.
Do you feel like that's a common occurrence with some of those guys, like Greg Peace, that you know, they'd rather talk about things while smoking a pipe versus talking about smoking a pipe?
If you've been in it as long as Greg, yeah, because he's been doing it since the 80s.
Yeah.
So you got to think that's a lot of years. And how many questions has he been asked and had to go through, right?
Yeah, the same ones over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be I mean, good Lord. I mean, it's the same thing with musicians. You know, when they go and play, they do, like, you know, concerts coast to coast, and they're playing the exact same songs over and over again. You know, people don't realize, as much as they love hearing some of those, especially out of the first albums, the bands really thrive off of hitting some of that new stuff. It really, like, it gets their juices going, you know, hitting something fresh once in a while. And it's nice to revisit a classic. Like it's much more, at least when I played music, I enjoyed more hitting some classics that I had played previously versus repeating them over and over again.
I mean, it's so stereotypical. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you're a tobacco blender, a pipe carver, a musician, an actor, actress, whatever.
For sure.
The same questions resurface. How did you get started in this? Or what was your big break? Or blah, blah, blah. You know, and you're like, didn't you see any of the other interviews?
Did you not see the 500 others?
Quit asking them. Quit asking the same bloody
For
question.
Greg, you've got to think, how many times has he been asked, how do you go about developing a new blend? And how is he going to answer that diplomatically, concisely, without giving away the secrets of how he creates the blends he does?
Right.
It's difficult.
Do you think there's going to be anything when Greg Peace is gone that he's going to leave behind in terms of something new or something that he didn't do? Or do you think he would just, it's hard to ask this question, but I mean, I guess a good example would be like the McNeils when they closed down McClellan. I mean, they shut it down. They didn't sell it. They didn't, none of that continued on. And granted,
don't forget, Greg has worked with a lot of blenders, McClellan,
for sure.
C&D, a couple others. So, I mean, you have to do what you do. You don't worry about what you didn't do or what you left behind or you didn't leave behind.
For sure.
You've also got to remember, Greg's blends are being made at Cornell and Deal.
That's right.
So 30 years from now, when most of us aren't here, GLP's blends, the existing blends, will still be able to be kept on going. Quite different than the McNeils and McClellans, because when they shut down, it was factory, everything done. So there was no one to carry it on unless they sold, which they weren't interested in.
Right.
So GLP's blends could be the Balkan Sobranis of the, 22nd century.
For sure.
Yeah.
People pay $800 or $900 for a 50 grand tin.
And the other interesting thing was, I mean, a lot of us, we've spoken before, and I'm like,
hey there, Cloud Bear.
Seeing.
Woo! Get it! Get on it, doggone it!
C&D needs to age their tobaccos more. But even though C&D is working with Gregory, I mean, the blend he's about to release is 10 years old. So he's found components from them that meet his standards, and it's 10 years aging. And he when he says he's testing something, he's not redeveloping. He's developed it, and for 10 years it's been aging.
Daniel Reeves has got a good question. He says, do you think in the future that tobacco blends will only put out, or tobacco blenders will only put out the popular stuff instead of creating new blends?
That's kind of what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Depends on what the FDA puts on them.
Yeah. That's the other caveat.
I can see that. I mean, also too, like at some point, I mean, because to me, it takes somebody like a Greg Peace or something like, somebody like that, can tell what, if he can, and I don't know if he can or not. I'm assuming he can, but when you're ratioing out different components of a blend, he would be one that I would imagine could tell, if he, the amount of Perique, for instance, he put in his specific blend, if he likes it or not, and what he's trying to generate out of a blend. Because I feel like there is an ultimate combination you can probably do in terms of tobacco blends. At the same time, there's a set of diminishing returns depending on how much you put in or out of different components. So
I don't know what he does for everything, but this blend that he's about to put out, he was saying that he has been smoking this for a year, tweaking it for a year, and sending it out to people that he trusts, getting opinions, and he's just about ready to launch it.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, that's what I assume, that meticulous, like you're talking about, Charlie, that meticulous way of fine tuning.
The only hint and it's a flake. It's a proper flake.
Hey,
and the only other hint he gave us is it has something that our Aussie buddy doesn't like.
Nice. What you got, Mike?
You've also got to remember that how Greg goes about things and what his goal is can change during the process, depending on the quality of the leaf. It's not like this is not like salt and pepper and cinnamon spices.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're
He's
dealing with
learning
an
to deal with
organic thing.
components that are changing.
And the Virginias that he may be dealing with from one year to the next are different.
Yep.
So tasting something now and then tasting that leaf after a year, there's a change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's in 1 year crop of Virginia to the next. It's a lot more complex than cooking.
And that's, I would reiterate between Mike and Charlie. Gregory said he was working on this for 10 years. And what he means by working on it, he developed the blend. He knew what he wanted. It's been aging for 10 years. And after 10 years, over this 10 years, he's been sampling it to see if it's going where he wants it to go. And that's when he starts handing out the samples from the last year to get feedback.
Well, and the other thing too is, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that was one of the things that the McNeil said publicly was the sourcing of the leaf that they were wanting to put in their blends just isn't available for what he wanted. And therefore, if he wasn't going to put out a product that he was happy with, he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's according to him. I don't know if it's true or not. That's what they publicized. And I don't have a reason to question it. But that would make sense. I can, like Mike's saying, depending on where you're getting supplied that leaf, absolutely it's going to change. I mean, that's.
I mean, and if the FDA things get, really hairy, who's to say there will be another person like GOPs or like McClellan?
You have to remember,
I'll be smoking generic, whatever. You're lucky to have it.
You've got to remember that the FDA restrictions don't affect McClellan's for any of their blends created prior to 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the issue.
Well, the problem was the ingredients, components.
They'd be stifled on creating new blends.
Sure.
Yeah.
But their standard blends that were created in the 90s, they weren't even in the crosshairs.
I'm very
good. So Haunted Bookshop will be on forever then. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, no problems there. Chad is happy.
I heard there was a shortage of the Siamese burley crop they use in that, so you better buy a lot now.
And that's the thing. See, I'm not even close to being well versed on, like, you say Siamese burley, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Then again,
I know it's a cat. Thanks a lot, wife. No, like
it could go the way of Carter Hall and get made in the Dominican Republic.
It could, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, because you had Syrian Latakia, Latakia, however you say it, and obviously that we see what happened with that, and so I mean, like, so there's obviously these transitions where the supply is going to dictate a lot for the future, which is
a major thing with C&D though, and I do smoke a lot of their products, and I admit it, they're coming out with too much.
You feel like they're spending too much time on creativity?
Yeah, the small batches and stuff. Stick with what sells.
Mm-hmm.
And keep going that. Occasionally come out with something different. Like like I said, when they came out with Haunted Bookshop Cake, a lot of people asked me if I bought it. I'm like, why?
Mike, I got a question. I mean, when it comes to like the small batches, and you're just hitting on things, especially when it comes to like the supply of specific, like what you mentioned with Haunted Bookshop and the burley. Do you think that's going to be? I don't know what the impetus on them creating the small batches, if it's just to capitalize on a marketing ploy or what it is, but they're obviously using certain components in there specifically. I am wondering if there is any impetus on the fact that doing a small batch more or less guarantees that run is consistent versus if they try to continue it through time.
First of all, I was joking about a Siamese.
Well, hell if I know. Thanks a lot. I bought into it, hook, line, and peanut butter.
Well, I'm gonna say Martin. Small batch, limited editions, etc., are the marketing ploy of the 2000s.
For sure.
Watchmakers. I mean, when you've got a major brand like Seiko taking their Seiko 5s and all of a sudden going, hey, if we may call it a limited run with a different dial and charge an extra $500, they're going to sell because collectors are stupid.
Right. Yep.
The same thing is with tobaccos. I mean, limited runs, making it high more collectible is the marketing ploy of the 2000s.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, you look at Cornell and Deal, you like them, you don't like them, whatever. But when the husband was still alive, they had 80 blends, and he was comfortable with that because he knew that was what he could manage. That's what sold. When he died, there was a little hiccup there, and you could see that the marketing people got their claws into the wife, and now they got 200 something freaking blend.
Mm-hmm.
You can't maintain the empire, so to speak. You start getting too many tentacles around, and somewhere something has to suffer.
Yeah, I liken it a lot to a restaurant. I'm more of on the food side of things. I've worked in restaurants and everything else, and when I go into a restaurant and they've got a 4-page menu, and they've only got they've only got 30 tables, I'm like, do you really make, are you really making that ratatouille like you should? And is, but I mean,
Martin,
yeah,
Dunhill's been a master of limited editions.
Oh, for sure.
You take a Dunhill shell, you put a silver band, you stamp it with Christmas whatever year.
For sure.
You have
Peterson,
a little silver
too.
tamper. You put it in a bookbinder, and instead of having a $300 pipe, you've now got a $1,900 pipe.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that the special stamping, the tamper, and that little case, because it's a limited run of 500, makes it that much more expensive.
Yeah, no.
And that is the marketing mindset of today. And
Right.
It's unfortunate.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind a blender that said, I got 10-year-old red flake sitting here, and that we have compiled for years. We want to make, a single run because we're never going to be able to mimic exactly that because we can't get that specific crop anywhere else to taste like that. And, I don't for that pipes, I get you, Mike, for sure. 100%. But I think there could be some value if the intent wasn't for marketing and it was truly just to say, hey, we want to have a one-time shot of a specific run for this specific blend type because that resource is no longer available. I'd be more likely to buy that than I would calling it small batch.
That's exactly what McBaron did. They found some tobacco that had been sitting in the warehouse for 20 years, and so they produced it, and that was it.
Yep.
It's not a limited run that happens every year.
Right. And I'd be okay with that.
That's marketing. Mike knows it. You know it. You're in sales. I know it.
Yep.
What are the two rules? Create a sense of urgency. Create perceived value.
Pipe Collectors Club of America, when Bob was still alive, did this in the 90s with limited edition runs of special blends and unusual blends that were done in limited runs of sometimes only 300 tins up to 600 tins. And if if you look at what those sold like back then and what their value is now,
wow.
The tin of Jazz, my favorite blend, you know, it's absolutely nuts what I'd have to pay to get another tin. But it was a very unique cut, very unique stove Virginia with brights and red Virginias. Nothing has ever been created similar. And that was done between Mary McNeil, Mike McNeil, and Bob Hamlin, coming up with a concept blend and saying, okay, can we do this? Will it work? Will it be palatable? And then if we can, we'll make it. However, the idea is not that it's going to be a blend that's ready to smoke right when you pop the tin. The idea is to cellar it.
Yeah.
Okay. And just so you know, Latakia is great, Glenn.
Oh, there is no hope for you, my friend. How you going, guys? You all right?
There he is. He's true blue, baby.
I agree with you, Mike. Latakia is wonderful.
Oh, man. That's all right. Latakia is for people who haven't grown up yet.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Sorry.
Wait. Say the line, Glenn. I'm here. You smell burley.
That's all right. He doesn't like Burley
get
Virginias
through
either.
that,
He
though.
doesn't smoke Stonehaven.
The way
No,
you
I
see
do smoke-
Glenn is
I do
exactly
smoke,
the way he is. He held his own against Gregory.
I do smoke Virginia Burleys. Mick McQuaid plug is a Virginia Burley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Martin.
It's just
Yes, Todd.
In my case, don't you mean Cherry Haven?
Cherry Haven. I did put out a special edition, Mike. I did my own. And I'm sure the FDA is going to ask me about it.
well, would you mix Cherry Smash with Stonehaven?
No, I was trying to get rid of the Lane Very Cherry because I'm not going to smoke it because it tastes like chloroseptic spray. And so I stowed it in there with the sample of Stonehaven, and it transferred 100%.
There you go.
Cherry Haven is nothing new. Years and years ago, there used to be a internet chat group. It's Pound IRC.
Oh, I remember IRC. Yeah.
And a group of us got together to play a joke on another fellow. We started talking about a blend. We'd given it a name. I can't remember what it was. And the one guy that didn't know what it was, we kept talking about how great this blend was. It was so hard to get and so hard to find. And finally, we arranged to send him. And basically, it was Middleton's Cherry and Straight Latakia. And we put a fancy label on it.
Ooh. Woo. Yikes.
See what you did there, Mike? You just validated what I said earlier. You created a perceived value.
Ooh.
That's not the first time that's happened.
Oh, man.
There will be no Great Haven DDT.
I noticed you're not wearing your fancy shirt when you say that, George.
A few years ago, a couple of guys I know got together and did this exact thing. They got an old McClellan's tin or C&D tin or whatever. Someone actually made a label up and started posting it on social media, saying how great this blend was and how you had to have it. It's exclusive and extremely rare. And people took the bait. All right, where can you get this? It was, and before you knew it, people were doing reviews on it and all this sort of stuff. It's like, what are you talking about?
Now I am gonna say, and this isn't pushback on the marketing because Mike feel everybody understands the marketing ploys of special limited runs, special editions, things like that. It's not a Cornell and Deal's. It's not a bad idea to label something small batch, because given how many people out there that like to drink, whether it's bourbons, whether it's scotch, all these different things, it's still a great idea in sense of if you get somebody at a cigar bar or something like that and they see a tin of Cornell and Deal small batch, that's that can easily spark some curiosity in somebody that's brand new as well.
The other thing is, due to the deeming regulations by FDA, doing a small batch is acceptable. If it's to become a regular line product, they have to go through all the cost of the
tests.
deeming regulations. Where a small batch, sorry, it circumvents that. So,
but
for marketing, it's brilliant. To get around FDA, it's really, really brilliant.
But wasn't the older blends grandfathered in, Mike?
Pre-2008.
2008.
They've got something like 400 different blends in their books. They could dig back into the barrel and dig something out and call it something else.
No. Renaming it is a new blend.
Yeah.
But not necessarily.
Okay,
but
here's
Mike,
the thing. You have a recipe, and it's called Three Nuns. But you decide to change that recipe and call it Four Nuns. Oh, no. You go through the old deeming, even if you have the old recipe. However, here's something. If you have a blend that's called Vulcan Sobrani, and it's a ribbon cut, if you take that tobacco blend and come out in the exact same recipe in a flake, give it a new name, circumvents FDA. Come up with a plug, new name, circumvents FDA. Crumble cake, circumvents FDA. So
I think that was
every single recipe for every different tobacco cut, ribbon, whatever, 4 different names, you circumvent FDA.
Now that you say that, Mike, that
FDA guys sitting here making notes right now.
Now that you say that, Mike, I seem to recall conversations in different places when Matches passed away, why they couldn't do a celebratory Matches 860 Haunted Bookshop thing because they would have to pass FDA, whatever.
But they could have done a small batch run.
They could have done a small batch.
They could have done a small batch.
Right.
But
they just couldn't put it in their regular lineup and be a regular offering.
But Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Because when Dunhill, sold off to Peterson, because those blends were already produced by Scandinavian Tobacco Company anyways, changing the brand, as long as they didn't change the blend, that was still okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, Escudo is in a coin.
Mm-hmm.
If they said, okay, we're going to call this Okey Pokey and make it in a ribbon cut, they could do it. Or they can put it in a square flake or a plug, give it different names, circumvent FDA.
So it all has to do with the recipe.
Yes. Is it worth their while? Probably not.
Right.
But they could.
And they might. I mean, they made Haunted Bookshop cake. So at that point they decided to just press the sucker and I don't see anything wrong with that, because again, you can see, how those flavors marry differently, and so I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine if you want to get creative that way. Why not? If you're regulated into that box, you kind of have to. I would think
thinking outside the box.
Outside of, well, I mean, and that's the thing too, is like that also makes sense too. I mean, great marketing ploy and being able to circumvent, the deeming regulations with a small batch. I mean, golly, why wouldn't you at that point?
I would say, let's not use the word circumvent. Let's say adapt, because I guarantee you, some asshat at the FDA is going to catch wind of this.
Lord knows I get a lot of government agents on my lives.
They set up the rules, so
I think good advertising is learning how far you can bend the rules and not break them.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to, especially with tobacco.
Well, and again, too, you got to go ahead.
I think Phil is blaming Martin right now, telling him he's giving away secrets. Is what I heard.
Look, I'm just a curious kind of guy. That's just what I do.
Just asking questions.
Be careful how you word things, because it's like taxes or loopholes.
Oh,
whatever,
well, we got the tax person on the line.
There's somebody sitting there taking notes somewhere.
We're just asking questions. That's all.
Operating within the confines of the regulations.
We're losing all our tobacconists and B&Ms. If Cornell and Deal has to do what they have to do to stay in business and put out a shit ton of tobacco, I'm all for it.
Yep. Yep, I'm good
This
for
is
it.
going to
too.
make Everett happy. I'm actually starting to become a fan of Crooner.
Good man, Glenn. I told you it wasn't bad.
Blame Night Piper. He was the one who gave it to me.
I warned you about coming to Vegas, Glenn.
I know. I know. I'm planning on going for my shots next week, Mike.
Glenn's smoking a burley. I almost died. I had a heart attack last night.
Oh my gosh.
I was sitting there, all of a sudden, my heart went.
But Glenn flicked back like a hockey puck, a 40-year-old in of Benson and Hedges, like it was nothing.
I did because it had Latakia in it. Ruined it.
Yeah.
Those commie bastards. I
Now,
forgot
what
to mute
is
myself.
One that you like?
Greg Pease was handing around this tin of Benson and Hedges, something, and it was old and it looked
40
nice, but
40
you could smell the
40 years
Latakia.
old.
40 years, was it?
Yeah.
It was just 1% is enough to ruin a blend for me. Mike sent me out. What was it, Mike? It was Jazz. Was it Jazz? No. What was it?
Black Shag.
There's some Black Shag. That's right.
Black Shag has 1% Latakia.
And that was enough for me to go.
Now,
you know.
now Glenn, do you like Syrian Latakia? Have you tried the old stuff?
In the past, yeah, I have.
Maybe it's the Cyprian Latakia you don't like.
Honestly, it comes down to I'll enjoy the first third of a bowl, and then the Latakia takes over, and it doesn't matter which type it is; it just ruins it.
Really? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Now,
here's the answer, Glenn.
I only smoke a third of a bowl.
No. You smoke the first third of the bowl, tamp it, gently take it out, turn it over, put it back in. And
Oh
smoke the
yeah,
first third of that.
after it's melded in all those juices, Glenn, go for it.
There you go.
Yeah. What is it? What is it about? What's offensive about the? I mean, I'm just curious because the reason I like Latakia specifically is because I smoke a lot of meats. I love a bit of that barbecue, and again, like I think again, everybody's palates are so different, and everybody, this is why when it comes to all the reviews of blends and stuff, like they're cool to see what people's reactions are to them, but you can't take them as gospel because everybody's palate's different. And,
for sure.
And so, to me, the two aspects of Latakia that I really enjoy is one is, for certain blends, I get kind of a barbecue-y smokiness out of it, which I love because I smoke tons of meats. The other is, and specifically this is in Seattle Pipe Club's Plum Pudding, is a bit is there's a kind of a creamy palate aspect to it, which when it's plum pudding, that creaminess of the smoke and everything is really what relates me to the plum pudding portion of that blend. And so I'm just curious.
I agree, Martin. There are some. If you get some very good quality Latakia blends, they come through super creamy. And I agree.
Latakia on purpose.
Yeah, I'm with Glenn though. I don't like Latakia at all. 1%. I like 0% Latakia.
What was that, Mike?
I wish I did.
I offered Glenn some Brebbia. I had a couple tins of aged Syrian Brebbia, and Glenn was consistent. He was like, "Nope."
it's just not a flavor that I get along with. I have tried to get along with Latakia, and I find it monochromatic and it overtakes everything else.
Okay, yeah.
You can have a kitchen sink blend, and all I will taste is Latakia.
Yeah.
So as I was telling Greg Pease a couple of years ago, I just gave up trying to like it for the sake of everybody says you've got to like it. I like what I like, and that's
right.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Gregory didn't disagree with that. He was on board with that.
He didn't. I mean, as much crap as I pile on and as much nonsense as I talk, you smoke Latakia, you like it, then you like it. That's
For
that.
sure,
It's
yeah.
just not for me.
Yeah.
It's one of the most interesting conversations that I heard in the whole show because you guys were flinging at each other. It was amiable, but I was like, wow.
He's a great guy to talk to. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking to smart people.
Now, Mike, do you ever smoke Latakia? I don't remember you liking it much either.
I don't like it much, and I only use it to get rid of cockroaches and in-laws.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, that's I'll see you guys later.
Everett was good to see
Right,
you, sir.
Everett. Hold on, Everett.
Yeah, Everett.
Wife,
Well,
you're supposed to
listen,
tell me when I'm supposed to admit people in. You weren't paying
I see
attention again.
Everett's all ready for Halloween.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
He's gonna get in the camo.
I've smoked some nice
Sorry,
light gear
Ron.
over the years, and I still have the same opinion of it.
Yep.
Do you
Yeah,
find yourself like it, Glenn?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you find yourself wanting to like it? Like you
No.
would. You don't even want to like it. See,
Come on in,
want to
Ron. I
like it.
got you now.
try it every fall when it starts to get cool. And I like it, it's be a good smoky blend, but I can't get through it. I'm like you, I can't.
The only time I can
but
ever
Robert,
come
you
close
do
to
like
appreciating it.
Syrian.
The only time I can ever come close to appreciating Latakia is if the ambient temperature is really cold.
Mhm.
But even then, it's like, okay, am I done yet?
I know. Yeah. What were you saying, Phil?
I said, but you do like Syrian.
I
will
like
tolerate
Mississippi
Syrian.
River. I like the original Mississippi River.
Yeah.
That's the only blend that I can take the Latakia. And I thought it was because it was Cyprian, but it may be because it's McClellan's tobacco. I don't know, but I do. I can tolerate that. Yes.
The only
Hey,
one I
Mike.
really can get along with is probably Jermaine's Latakia flake, and it's got to be aged too, because the Latakia in that is very condimental, and you can still taste the Virginias a little bit through it, and it's really good Virginia in it.
Yeah. I think it has
That's
to
a
do with the
rarity.
good Virginia.
John from the Nashville Mafia, he tried some of the aged Brebia Sorneto, whatever it is, ribbon. It wasn't the flake, but he liked it. But it gave him a nick hit, and he was looking like a little seasick in the restaurant.
Oh, really? Wow.
I got a question for everybody in the group too. Just as something curious. What in your opinion, just because like everybody's slightly different. What specific either blend types or blends do you think really just hit the mark with a good amount of age specifically? And I know we could say, well, the vast majority for sure. But are there any specific blends that stand out to you that age really well, whether it's Virginia based, Burley based, or a specific one like a Scudo? Like, I remember all the time how, Mike would tell me every time, he's like, age it. And I do. I've got it jarred up.
Virginia or Virginia Orientals.
You want a specific blend, Martin?
Yeah, either a specific blend, because I think it's good for people to know if you've had a specific blend that really opened up. With some age on it.
I've smoked some 20-year-old Samuel Gower St. James flake.
Ooh.
And that was an experience in itself. And to top that off, I had one of them Nirvana smokes where it just burned all the way to the bottom, and you got nothing but grey ash at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now that I haven't tried yet, Mike. I'm going to rip into that very, very soon because it's already 30-year-old.
What is that, Mike?
Boston 1776. It's a McClellan's blend.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, like
the McClellans, straight Virginias will age amazingly well. This is so bright on the tongue. It's amazing. A good quality Virginia blend will age.
Mm-hmm.
If the leaf is high sugar content. If
I was
it's
just
not,
going to say, I tend
it's
to
going to
think
turn to
Virginia's
crap.
age better just because of the sugar, like grapes or anything else.
Yeah, I'm actually smoking one of mine right now. It's a 2013 Capstan Yellow or Capstan Gold. I think that's
supposed to be the year.
That it's absolutely the best Virginia I've ever smoked. And
Mouton goes on about that one.
I like aged at least 10 years on full Virginia flake. I think 10 years and after, it's beautiful. So that would be my two. But they're both Virginias.
That's where you and I differ there, Robert. I mean, I believe Virginia's got a window of 5 to 8 years for my palate, and then it starts to fall off.
You smoked some 20-year-old Escudo in Las Vegas.
It was.
Yeah, I'm talking what I do, Glenn, is this is in the tin crack. If you put it in a jar or crack it.
Oh, I'll leave it in the tin.
Leave it in tin. Okay, so we're on the same page. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, I leave it in the tin. Where possible, I'll leave it in the tin because it's under vacuum already.
Yep. And well, I find out that introducing it to oxygen, like full Virginia flake, will mature a little bit faster. So
Okay.
5 years rather
So
than
the
10
difference
years.
here for the people in the audience that may or may not be aware is aerobic or anaerobic aging.
Yeah.
Those are two forms of exercise I don't do.
Me too.
I trust me, I do the anaerobic training. I get no oxygen.
I should be doing it. I appreciate you throwing it out there for me, Phil. Thank you.
Thing is, I mean, you get good leaf, like Mike was saying, and it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to age nicely. But it still comes down to, do you have the palate to appreciate, the finer nuances within that particular smoke? And I know for myself, I mean, I've punished my taste buds, for 30 odd years with, cigarettes. So my palate is probably not going to be as developed as some of yours who have never smoked cigarettes.
That's true.
Here's something a little different. I mean, when we all first started this, you see all these guys with these cellars, and especially in the days of YouTube, you see them with their cellars. Like, how the hell am I going to get there? I would say, if you find something you like, buy multiples or buy as much as you can afford, because it's never going to be cheaper than it is today.
Yes.
It's always going to go up. And next thing you know, you're like me or Glenn or Charlie or Mike, and you've got tins that are 10, 12, whatever years old on the shelf.
You know what I find really funny is we talk about English blends, and we talk about, it's Latakia, it's this, it's that. The majority of quote, quote, English blends have a strong base of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Latakia, Oriental leaf are added as condiments. So, if the quality of the Virginia leaf in an English blend is high, the quality of the Latakia or Oriental leaf is high. As it matures and ages, the whole blend will smooth and round out. If one component is of low quality, the others will overcome and overbear that.
Yeah, I had some 7-year-old Balkan mixture, Gawith and Hogarth. Excellent stuff.
The other thing is, in the last decade or two, the term English blend has been bastardized. It's a marketing ploy now, because typically when you said English, what it referred to was the English purity laws.
They took their Balkans.
Even as recently as 10 years ago, there was a searchable definition, and it explained the difference between, and then they're using the word crossover. That word crossover is completely gone now.
So what does Balkan mean? What is the difference between an English and a Balkan? Anybody?
Yes. If you take your current description of an English blend, so you've got Virginia, Latakia, Oriental, or possibly combination therein, add Cavendish. You've now got a Balkan blend.
Yeah.
So Cavendish is okay. Gotcha.
I thought Cavendish made it a Scottish.
It does make it a Scottish for sure.
I thought it was that the Oriental leaf
More Oriental forward.
the Oriental had to overwhelm the Latakia, and the Orientals needed to be like Greek or Bulgarian or Macedonian.
That's too technical for me.
I mean, by definition, Latakia, however you want to say it, is an Oriental.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just smoked over camel dung.
Wow.
It does stink.
So, for instance, it's just taking a random one. When you're talking about Englishes versus Balkan blends, English mixtures and Balkan mixtures are two styles of tobacco blends known to every pipe smoker. Yeah. Both are.
This is the second best live I've been on, Martin. The other one the other night was cool because there was, but this questions, and this is where kind of like a round table, you get all these different levels of experience, expertise, I don't know, whatever, and so the questions come up. And I find this enjoyable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's mostly the intent of it. And so mostly what I'm seeing on here is that, you know, it seems like their Balkan and Englishes are very, very similar. But it seems like, you know, it really seems like mostly like the consensus is it's a little bit more Oriental forward. But I mean, I couldn't tell you if you stuck a English and a Balkan blend in two pipes, and depending on which one I smell, I would never be able to tell you which was English versus Balkan.
I wouldn't either.
Martin,
Yeah.
you would absolutely be able to tell the difference.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
My palate wouldn't.
Yes, you would. You'd be able to pick up on the Cavendish sweetness. Although,
no one else said just.
what's really going to throw a twist to y'all, in 1999, I was at RTDA, and the guy that invented Captain Black and Lane 1Q was there, Rutger Will. And he offered me to try his new peach blend. And my thing was, I'm sorry, thank you, but I don't smoke aromatics. And he said, there is no topping in this. If you take Latakia, if you tumble it and steam it and heat it for the right amount of time, it goes sweet. This was an all-natural, untopped blend, Virginia's Latakia, and for God's sake, it tasted like peaches.
Wow.
And I don't have that pipe anymore.
I think
okay. So basically what you're saying is that you told him that it tastes just like a peach looks, ass.
Oh.
No, it's fuzzy.
What, fuzzy ass? God. We want to get in the weeds on it there, Phil. The worst
Martin,
thing
have you driven up I-85 towards Charlotte before and been in Gaffney and seen the Big Peach?
Yes, I have, and I have to
It looks
answer.
like, what does it look like?
I have to answer anytime my son sees it. We usually just put something over his window when we go that direction.
It looks like a big
old rear end.
A big badonkadonk.
Yeah.
It looks.
It's interesting what Mike said, because basically that was what Gregory was trying to get across to Glenn. You know, and that both two unique individuals, they have their own perspective, but that's pretty much spot on for what Gregory was trying to portray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad y'all got to go. Glenn, would you go again next year if you could?
Oh hell yeah, in a heartbeat. Even though I spend more time in the air than I did there, I'd still do it again.
And you still got home first.
Did I?
You still beat Mike home.
Yeah.
You got home before me.
Well, I got home before Jose.
Jose just got home this afternoon.
They had to cut the tape off of Mike's belt and search the goods. Apparently customs was a bitch for Mike.
I heard they're shipping everything to Brazil. You have to fly to Brazil to get back to Canada now.
Glenn, you spent 6.5 hours at the layover in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 4 in layovers trying to leave Las Vegas and on the tarmac in Vancouver to get to the gate. And an extra 45 minutes to get a cab in Vancouver.
Jose was laid over in Los Angeles for 6 hours.
Oh man, that's just cruel.
I was like, don't go anywhere.
If they have it next,
don't leave the airport.
They have it next year. Just from what I saw and what me and Phil have talked and listening to all the emotion of you guys, I'll definitely be there. I just have to put my
you gotta go, Robert. You gotta go.
I'm hoping
It's
to
a
go
blast.
next year if I can.
I honestly did this niche pushed me past my comfort level, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. These guys.
If you
Mike-
go back and watch Phil's videos, every video that I've seen that Phil made, he had a smile from ear to ear the whole time. I've never seen Phil smile like that before.
That's because I was standing behind him, pulling his ears down.
Oh, got it.
A lot of CA glue and a lot of duct
I
tape.
agree with you, Robert. I've never seen him smile like that.
I mean, he was, wasn't he, Todd? I mean, every video, Phil was just smiling.
He's all happy. Even I heard it. I heard it.
I've got plans to come back in 2025, but I'm going to drag another couple Aussies with me.
Ooh,
I
nice.
thought it was listening to a kid in a candy store.
Exactly.
Patrick Grant said he's saving up right now for next year.
And that's how I felt. I was looking around, and I mean, it was sensory overload in every way you can imagine. But I couldn't stop smiling. I mean, my ribs still freaking hurt. Thank you, DDT, and or DPP and Scripto. Damn,
Jim is his name.
And
Jim.
Dan Desert Pine.
Yeah. I doing a geriatric moment.
Yeah, next time I'll come for a week. Because a weekend's
that
just
would
too
be
much.
the plan. If you're planning on going to Vegas, if you can do it for a week, do it for a week. You definitely gonna need prep time, getting your mind right for it, and what is futile, but you definitely need recovery time.
That's going to be my plan, by the way. If I go, is I'm going to tack on a couple of days. I was not ready to say goodbye to you guys.
Yeah, either side.
Tuesday is the best.
He drove Chad and I to the airport, and we were talking, and as we were getting on the way there, I got choked up and they couldn't see because it's dark in the car, but I got out and was getting my bags, and I was trying to express my gratitude, and I got teary-eyed, and then walking in with Chad, I can't talk to you.
I got up the next morning when I got home. I was checking my phone for a message to meet me at the Brass Fork for breakfast.
Yeah. The Brass Fork you.
That was good. That was really good. But yeah, we're definitely coming back. But like I said, I want to drag another couple of Aussies with me.
I wish that would be fun.
One of these years I can get the one.
And I said before, Mike, Glenn,
there's Ron.
Charlie. I have no words that are adequate.
Don't blame me.
How much this meant.
Not my fault. I wasn't there. Rabbit done died. She said she was 18. Hi, Ron.
Oh, there we go. Back to the bunny ranch. Every time. Can't escape it. Now, do y'all think, specifically, in terms of the fact that the time was so short that just enhanced your desire to want to go again?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
everything is good in moderation, is what Glenn is saying.
It certainly makes it more intense.
It was, it makes it more intense.
But it's not so. It's more of it makes you feel more motivated to enjoy yourself and other people's company. The pipe show in essence almost becomes a bit of a sideshow.
Well, the reason I say it is there's
someone who's never been anywhere since 1996, and for the last 12 years, all I've been is outside of doctor's appointments and maybe up the hill to see McNary is from my door to the shop. This meant more to me. Looking back and when I was there, I can't express what this meant to me.
So Phil's saying he gets around a lot. Well, and one of the questions, or not one of the questions, but one of the things I was going to say is I've done big trips with friends and things like that, and I like something that I just being an outsider looking in at the event. I feel like there's a small window. I feel like the mindset changes, and the mindset is I don't care about any bull crap. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to enjoy the time that I have and make the absolute best of it. And I feel like you can be too long. Yeah, but I mean, you can be too long with your friends, but that short window seemed to really impact you guys.
It's almost like you're trying to, because it is a finite time. You feel like you know it's only this time period, and you're trying to maximize it. The only regret I have is that I couldn't spend all 3 of those days with each individual.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I shared a room with Chad, and we barely got 5 minutes together. It's unfortunate.
I shared the room with Jose, and but we're both kind of we got our minds so many places. We were constantly walking to and from the room or being pulled the other direction. It felt like I just ran a marathon or an Ironman.
Yeah. Well, I again, like I said, I wanted to continue these lives throughout the week, each week, because with the Zoom specifically, because I feel like, again, we don't have to always, in fact, I don't even really want to, revisit the show as much, but take things from the show that you learned or experienced that is valuable to those that watch and those that can have some form of inspiration from something you took from it that can do that. And then just like Phil said too, just getting together, having a powwow about specific topics, I think is just great. Like learning the aversion that both Robert and Glenn have to, a lot of Kia is something that's actually new to me. I didn't know this, but that's helpful. Fascinating to me. It interests me. Well, I mean, because everybody's palate's different. I mean, it's like beer, it's like wine, it's like, bourbon, it's like all these different things. Everybody's got a different palate, and it's always fascinating.
I was going to say before my phone rang before that, regardless of vintage tobaccos and your palate and all that sort of stuff, it comes down to, user error as well. If you, tend not to pack your pipe right or you have a bad pack, which sometimes happens to us all, that can also alter the experience too. And regardless of what tobacco it is, whether it's new or vintage.
Or on the other hand, the polar opposite, you have a nirvana moment, and you're like, what was it? And you can't remember what you did differently.
Yeah.
Yep. Or drying, or where you're smoking it at. If you're in a place that it's super dry versus, very high humidity, like there's so many minute variables to it, which I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if the viewers want to ask questions about the pipe show, whatever, for the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, I don't care, because as we're winding down, it was such an overload. There are things surfacing now that we had forgotten about a couple days ago.
Yes. And that's specifically why, I'm not going to try to ask very specific, a lot of questions about the show, but I do want to find out certain things that maybe later on you recall, or you watch a video or pictures or something, say, oh gosh, I remember that. Write it down, bring it up in the next Zoom,
Martin,
because I think that's good information for everybody.
Martin.
Yes, sir.
Some of us have been sworn to secrecy. So.
I can understand that, my friend.
Yeah.
I can understand.
We won't mention that Mike was taken down by security by some guys that couldn't chase down a rabbit.
Wow. Okay.
Running through the casino in his boxers.
Oh, well, you know what? It is National Boxers Day.
I mean, now you got to talk about the pattern on his boxers.
Ooh,
yeah, I tried to tie it in.
Not quite sure we were looking that close.
That's hilarious.
That's okay. That's what the wife got out of.
Mike's in his boxers right now. Y'all just can't see it, because
since I wear white boxers, they didn't think I was wearing anything.
Oh wow, he's a little.
So now we know why the white balance was off.
Wow. So now we also know that if we want the wife to speak after listening for an hour and a half, just mention Mike's boxers.
Yep, it's Mike's complexion.
I said they're white with red maple leaves all over them.
Lack of complaints.
I mean, much as we teased you, Mike, I mean, it's all in love.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got all your addresses.
That's true.
Did he say asses or addresses?
Oh,
He said peaches. I've got all your peaches. And that's what was
snap.
on his boxers.
You saw it when he was running away.
His
Got
favorite
your
Mike's
address.
one.
Tomorrow he'll have your nuts hanging from a mirror.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Right. You know, I love how we go from 0 to just
We've
way
gone off
out of
the rail.
bounds in 2 seconds. That's it. I just blame it on Phil's geriatric moments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I blame it on. Geriatric moment.
You know, they always say the best thing about never mind. That's a really untasteful joke. I'm not even gonna make it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna.
I mean, it's funny because
Don't be shy, Martin.
during Vegas, I didn't drop the F-bomb half as much
Bullshit.
as I do in the live.
There went Glenn. I hear an objection.
Objection, Your Honor. Strenuously.
I'm not saying I didn't use it. I'm saying I didn't use it as much as I do on social media.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Well, all right.
80% of
was
as much.
conservative.
The bleeper got broken.
Yeah.
You remember these?
Hey, Ron.
The
Remember
Dark Lord?
these from the Wayback Machine?
Absolutely, I
Lord.
remember those.
Dark Lord.
That's
No.
from Greg Pease. Does it look like him?
What,
A
was that
younger one.
you
A little.
that left the comment, said Dark Lord, and then corrected it, said Dork Lord? My picture of DLP.
Now that was when he first all blend, and everybody said that he must have been in league with the dark. He must be the Dark Lord to be able to come up with that blend. And I just the name of it escapes me right now. But I think he came up with that T-shirt and may have been selling it through his website. But I had to pull that out of the treasure chest.
I hadn't seen that shirt.
Should post that on Instagram and tag Greg in it.
What else you got in there, Ron?
Oh.
Don't tell him, Ron. Don't tell him.
What else you got in there, Ron? What's in Pandora's box, Ron? Besides many leather-bound books.
Guys have old stuff.
Well, guys, that's all the questions I got for tonight. So I will work more in later. But I'm more than willing to let you guys keep running if you want to run. But for me, I got a big meeting in the morning. So I'm gonna be calling it.
I have to go to bed too.
I have a question.
Keep on.
Oh, a question. Yes, ma'am.
Who is y'all's favorite Todd?
My favorite what?
Todd.
Todd.
If it's the
You're our favorite.
the
you're
better
our favorite
Todd or Todd. It's the better Todd. It's gotta be.
It's the better Todd.
Oh, yeah.
I love all Todds equally.
Oh, what a cop out.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. It was good seeing y'all. We'll catch y'all later. If we see y'all tomorrow, we see y'all tomorrow. It was great hanging out with all of you.
Bye.
You too, Martin. Good night.
See ya.
Night.
See y'all later.
Hey, now.
Poor Ron got in there a little bit late. I was hoping I could have got him in there a little bit earlier. He's a good guy. But yeah, I'm wore out, everybody. I went way longer than I was gonna go. I actually got in at 9:15. I got in early, and then I couldn't stop. Everything in moderation. Absolutely everything in moderation. Again, also, thanks, Troy. Hey, make sure you guys spread the word. You know that we've got these Zooms going on too, because we might end up getting some other people that would be pretty cool to have. So I mean, you know, if you get in somebody's live, you know, Will or something like that, tell them, say, you know what, why don't y'all jump in one of the lives, you know, on Martin's Zoom Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday? Because I mean, I'd love to hear some more guys. Like I'd like to get Willie and or John on to see it. I'd like to get, you know, obviously, you know, Pine and everybody on and his buddy. I love being able to chat with everybody and just get so many different perspectives. I feel like they're so valuable. Everybody's got such a good, you know, just wherewithal about what they like, what they don't. And again, if y'all have questions, you know, do the exclamation point, ask, pop in a question. I'll read it out to everybody. I mean, ask questions because we all learn when we all get together, and it's just so much fun to do that. And I've learned more and more every single time I do one of these, and I'm probably the one that's getting the most out of these. But I love the fact that, you know, we can have them and share them and everybody be involved. So get out there. If you see somebody that you watch that's on the lives, tell them they need to get their ass over here and get on the fucking live on Over a Pipe. So that way we can all hang out and just see what everybody's like. All right, babe. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Let it rip Friday, baby.